This is another episode 32 of Lessons with Larry podcast. I'd like to thank my daughter Lena Lott for that beat, the intro beat. I want to send a special
Yeah,
shout
I
out.
liked
Daddy,
that.
thank you. And Daddy appreciates you, you know what I mean, for giving him something jazzy and smooth we can start to groove with. Well, today I have a special guest, somebody is near and dear to me, one of my main partners, you know what I'm talking about. His name is Mr. Charles Cook, you know what I mean? And today's subject matter is the importance of manifestation and good affirmations, so the importance of both of those, and we have to discuss that today. And I like to bring Charles, to the forefront, and so we can have this discussion.
Mm.
Um, good evening. What's happening with you, Charles? How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm all right, man. I appreciate you for having me, man. Especially on short notice. I just came about, but yeah,
Appreciate you for coming. Appreciate you for showing up. You know what I mean. There ain't
man,
never been a time
you know,
when when your brother called on you. You know what I'm saying, and you don't rise to the occasion. I appreciate
yeah,
that, man.
most definitely.
You know what I mean? That's a very it's a very admirable trait to have. To even be a person that's dependable. You know what I mean? And the person that someone can call on. And I gotta admit, you're one of the most selfless peoples that I know. You know what I mean? For real. You always put others before you put yourself. And I've seen you do it on many occasions. Some I looked at you a little side eyed. But
Yeah,
nevertheless,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Man, you know what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah,
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 you're probably definitely gonna pull your coat if you see something wrong. But like I say, some people take advantage of people. Well, they think they're taking advantage of people, but they really be missing out on themselves. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
today's huh?
I was put me in mind of a conversation I had with you a long time ago. You called me, and I was going through it like I was what you said, trying to be everything to everybody. And you like, man, you know who you supposed to be helping out there. I said, yeah, I know, I know. You said who? I said, I know, like who, what you wanted to hear me say it, like you're supposed to help the people that's trying to help themselves. You know.
Facts.
That way
Facts.
your efforts don't go in vain or
And you don't
and
have to do it forever.
no. Yeah,
Because
because what
we
you tell me, man, if you want to get together, you don't need nobody. It ain't gonna take that long. And that's
yeah,
part of the manifesting what you want out of life. Yeah.
right. Because if you truly speak it, see a lot of people in my humble opinion, and this with lessons with Larry, these are my opinions and the opinions of my guests. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I got everything figured out because I'll be the first to tell anyone that'll listen, that I know enough to know that I do not know enough. So I don't know everything, but I can tell you what I do know. I do know the power of that tongue and the manifestation. I've seen it. Um, I've seen it on multiple occasions in my own life, through my own little journey in life. I've spoken things, and I hear it because my mouth is closer to my ears than anybody else that's listening to me, unless I'm talking and speaking in their ear. But nevertheless, I've just seen how many times I've said something and it came to pass or came into fruition, be it positive or negative. And it took me a while to actually recognize that, hey man, these things I speak is actually didn't happen, or they
Yeah,
happen.
we spelling, man. We words, we cast spells with our words, and that ain't nothing, with no negative connotation or nothing.
No,
Just man, your words, man.
words become your reality.
Yeah.
And words is just, when you say casting a spell, when you go to school, they say, they want to make sure that you can spell these words.
Hmm.
And little do we know, we casting spells with these words.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And the person, that speaks a lot of negativity, one may shy away from that person, but not realizing that this person is just a person that doesn't understand the power of that tongue. Because if they did, they would watch everything that roll up off of it. You know what I mean? And I remember one thing you brought to my attention, because like I say, for those who don't know, I'm gonna say it. My man right here was one of my favorite rappers. Straight up. This is one of my favorite rappers. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I ain't no easy person, you know what I mean, to you gotta have some type of substance. You can't just talk about beating
Most
up a
definitely.
woman, sliding on your enemies. I ain't talking about that, but I'm talking about far as conscious reality. You know what I mean? He had one lyrics. Well, I can think of a few songs I can go back so far, but one of his lyrics where he said you had got shot and you said you told your woman, you're gonna have to grab your purse because you about to play nurse. You know what I'm saying? you know?
Real life though. Real life, real life, but and the
And so hold on.
importance of manifestation at that particular time back in life,
That's
I was,
that's why that
I was
that's why I thought
manifesting that.
that's why I asked you to come on the show because when I thought about the subject of the importance of manifestation and affirmation and it made me think about you. It made me really think about you, Charles. Because you was like, I mean, when I ran back to you, I said, "Hey man," I said, "Man, you ain't rapping no more." You're like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, send me something." And I'm listening to it. Some of it has, but a lot of it had a message, like a conscious message. And I'm
Mhm.
used to you going hard in the paint, representing that 313, that east side. You know what I'm saying? Just the reality of the situation. So I asked you, I say, man, what's happening? You ain't been getting down no more. You said, man, I just had to stop, man, because rapping like that because everything I was saying was coming to pass. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man. And that's the power for the manifestation. So if you can expound on that a little bit for us, brother, share your
Yeah,
experience with us.
and just like you, like man, what you uh gonna go by? I got a few nicknames or mantras that I use far as with the music, but how we was talking about using our real name, standing on that because we grow up. One of my growing up, my nickname was Man, and as a kid, I tried to live up to that name. Like you
Man,
know,
you was
being a
a grown
man,
man as a kid.
taking on responsibilities, doing what I thought, was supposed, do the hold down household and stuff as a kid with that
Right.
name. Um, you know, one of my rap names when I was younger coming up, around the East Side Cheddar Boys and Street Lords and stuff, I went by Wild Game,
Yeah.
and
That's
the
who I met.
name was fitting, man. I have every car I had I was I was rapping from a real place, but I was I probably wasn't giving myself room to grow. I was I kept conjuring up them same I kept conjuring up with the lyrics and everything. I think it seemed like I kept bringing all that negativeness back to me, and
Yeah.
I couldn't. You can't hold up a mirror and say, "Well, why this happening?" or "Why that?" But my words, even I tell you to this day, if I go to do a show or something, they might say, "Man, they want to hear me rapping how the songs when I was 17, 18, 19, but them songs come from a real place where I was hurt a lot.
A lot of
A lot of
pain.
near death experience. I lost a lot of friends. A
Preach.
lot of time out of my life was with in that aspect of being like living too close to the lyrics and stuff. So I
Yeah.
was a wild game. Then when I came home and you asked me about performing, like I really don't I don't like performing that music or because I don't feel like I feel music. Me personally, I feel music.
Right.
Them lyrics uh on some of them things, like I say, that brought that bad energy around me.
Right.
I don't feel that no more.
That's
I
right.
don't have that type of malice in my heart. I don't, like certain they say ignorance is bliss, to know is a burden. And once you
Right.
know, you held
Now you
more
be
accountable,
accountable.
you know, and that right there be, you know, it's like a tug of war. It pulled at me, bro. You know, so it's like
Yeah.
I know in one instance, man, I can give these folks, you know, I can give them everything that they looking for on that side, but to what avail? What come with that? You know,
What's the cost?
like you know, and I
Yeah.
gotta, you know, we might have to another time go into my story because I got a 50 Cent get rich or die trying on steroids.
Right.
I'm
Oh, I
talking
know.
about super souped up. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I like to do that.
for context and you know from where we coming from with what we saying about manifesting and having good affirmations, you know, speaking good things, keeping good energy, keeping that aura, man, it's pivotal, it's important. And I know that from a standpoint, man. You know, we both been through he- hellish situations. You know, spent a lot of time in the belly of the beast. You know,
Mm.
one thing about it, I think I learned. It's one of the. There's no place for nobody, but it was one of my greatest teachers. And the people I ran into, dudes like you know you. I remember you had them. We get into that, but you had 3 layers of books in the locker. You had, you know, I, you know, hey,
Get into that.
that layer where you give 'em, like 'cause they might not be serious about what you know the advancement or you know when I came into place I wanted to I was hungry for knowledge, thirsty for information, you know. My antennas was up. While I was my antennas was up, I was trying to steal reception. You know, trying to
Hello, you
something
froze.
that I can take and
You,
use because that
you
even
back up a little bit because
yeah. Can you still hear me? You freezing up on me.
uh, you was going in. Oh, you good? You sound good. Sound
Yeah,
good on the thing.
yeah.
I
No,
just
you was freezing up on me a little bit,
was.
but you know, just
I can. Sorry about
back
that.
to when I was saying about you know the wild game, you know, and then I ain't want to I ain't want to put that energy out there no more, but I wanted something that represent me, and I started going by Chase the bank.
Mhm.
Anybody know me know, and I'm on a ziggity boom running around with my head like a chicken with his head cut off. I'm trying to figure it out, not only for me, but for everybody. I always try to keep a lot of irons in the fire, just, you know, just motivated about having stuff. I got, uh, I got real heartfelt uh, issues about, you know, the state of our neighborhoods, our communities, you know, about who own the businesses inside our community, where the money go, different stuff like that. Them, you know, so I always wanted something. I wanted to create something. So, you know, I came with Chase the Bank. That was my handle. And you know, like I still can speak from a place of knowing, but
Mhm.
my topics more so touched on the information, you know, about what I learned in business, you know, about the street hustle just to survive and, you know, uh,
Right.
making something out of nothing, you know, turning a dollar and you know, making a dollar out of 15 cents. That you know, chasing
Yeah.
it, but you know,
Yeah.
and that's what manifests. Like you know, I hit the ground running when I came with that mindset. You know, I put down
Right.
and when I was wild game, I ain't uh, I wouldn't even put my gun down. You know.
Yeah.
Now here I
Yeah.
am 10 years later, man. Shit, I don't even know what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I'm
Right.
trying to touch is some paper, man, and take care of some future generations now, you know. But
Right. Right.
the manifestation of like you know better, you do better, bro. You know.
Yeah.
And I was thirsty for that knowledge back to the books. You had to I remember guys used to be like, man, yeah, the story go deep because we used to get the yellow slips for the money.
Yeah.
So when mail call come, you get mail and you get some yellow slips. That means somebody out there on that gravel love you, boy, or you get, you still got a pulse, and
Yeah. You ain't
back
buried
in the
alive yet. You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
back in the
Somebody
day,
think about
you'd be Larry Lott, Larry, woo
it.
woo,
Yes,
like
sir.
it was always yellow slips and letters,
Yes.
coming in, woo woo woo, and
Yes,
people
sir.
like, oh, that guy he a pimp, but it wasn't nothing of the sort. It was, you had enough information, man, to spread, to share with so many people like you shared with me,
Yes,
and
sir.
you gave me a way of looking at things. I remember one time, I'm fresh. I'm a young boy, 21 years old, 10 years.
Crazy. Yeah.
No,
Hold up. You was wild. I mean, you came in representing exactly what your name was, Wild Game.
yeah. Hmm.
When I met you know what I'm saying? I mean, you wasn't tame. You was just, you wasn't wild like crazy wild. It was just like, you bar none, you weren't about taking nothing
Yeah, I
from
was.
none
Yeah,
from nobody. You know what I'm saying? And you was in a strange environment and you found your way. You know what I'm talking about straight up. And I seen you and like I say,
yeah.
I just, hey, but back to you what you were saying, but yeah, it was to me it was like my little brother that I never had.
Most
You know what I
definitely,
mean? For
most
real.
definitely,
Straight up.
and I tell you, I I didn't really fall in with a lot of people. I've always been like a recluse, but like I said, my antennas stay up. Can be across the room, boy, and if it's some game being yeah, I'm still in reception. I'm listening close, putting it in the
Yeah.
archive, just and I remember asking you for something to read. You gave me some Donald Goins. I was running through a few of them, but I said, hey man, I got 10 years. I got a little girl. Uh, I come off the street. I ain't come off, you know, I come from a place, like I said, being responsible as a young adult,
Young
as a
adult.
teenager, as.
Can I say one thing? I mean, as a teenager, you come in responsible. You're right. Now, one thing that I noticed when you came in, you was young. When I met you, you was young, and you tripped me out because you was like, "Yeah, man, I got was it a couple houses, some couple two family
Mhm,
flats you owned and stuff like
mhm,
that?" And I'm like, "Hold on,
mhm.
this ain't your average young guy." You know what I'm saying? He business minded. He telling
Yeah.
me stuff that I ain't even know about. You know what I mean? At the time, because at the time when I came up and out, it was all about make it and spend it. Make it and
Making
spend it.
it.
It wasn't about investing in nothing that could actually take care of you later on. It wasn't about. It was just how fast can you make it and how fast can you spend it. But
Mhm.
go ahead. I apologize. I
No,
regress.
no, you gave me them books, bro, and I was reading them books and taking that take, but I kept saying I want something different. So start Robert Kiyosaki, like
Rich Dad, Poor Dad,
Rich Dad
Kiyosaki.
Poor Dad and them series is The Millionaire Next Door, like small stuff like that. Then something heavy that it's a small book that carry have the richest man in Babylon, stuff like that. Thick face, black heart. That's a whole another. Like stuff. Like. But I was asking for that, and you like, and but when I was coming back and we conversed about, and you like, you read that, like
Yeah.
because I was thirsty even at that time. I was in there for the duration, the time I had, but I didn't feel like that time was mine, and from the get go, I told my daughter, "Hey, I'd be home," and that was my fight. Where everybody, the other young guys my age, was somewhere, trying to, gamble, whatever they was doing. I was in the law library. I was,
Right.
waking up, and trying to. I'm taking the classes. I'm trying to figure it out. I I was manifesting what I want. Um, I'm trying to stay on topic, bro, with this, but I want to say about manifesting. When I was a kid, this one of the my first awareness of manifestation. As a
Okay.
kid, my uncle used to give me stereos. My mother was, on drugs. We had, guys maybe working in the house. It was, like I said, I got a mean stereo, but my uncle used to give me stereo. I always loved music. He give me a stereo or something. So I used to take the speakers and turn them inside facing each other. And I used to lay in between the speakers with my eyes closed, bro. And when I lay in between them speakers, I had, I'm listening to Ghetto Boys. I was I lost a lot of friends because the age I was and the music I was listening to, they parents be like, "Hey, we don't want that little boy. Get that little boy from around here." What the, you know? But I used to listen to that music, and I used to close my eyes, and I used to picture myself. I was a kid. When I say a kid, I say 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, 10 years
Mm.
old. I used to close my eyes, and I used to visualize myself riding through the streets of Detroit. I'm from the east side of Detroit, riding through all the streets, seeing, hey man. But I was in all the nice cars. I would visualize myself in all these new cars, these decked out cars and different stuff, and you know, been in corners of stuff that I own, like really being a staple, a part of the community. And this as a kid, like this was my past, and I would lose myself in that, only to grow up and bend these corners in every car you can imagine, bend these corners and say, "Hey, I own that. I own that," like that was
Yeah, that's right.
manifestation early on,
Right.
like I
Facts.
saw,
Facts.
like when I used to close my eyes, I would be there. I'm talking about I would be there only to grow up and then, and we was talking earlier when we had the phone conversation. I was telling you, man, I think I kind of like put a ceiling on my manifestation where I was at.
Okay. What do you mean
That's
by that?
because you got people who have aspirations to or dreams of grandeur that they want all these wonderful things out of life. Me, I never wanted that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted, like I told you, I wanted my neighborhood, my people to own what we had, take care of that, build.
Yeah.
That was enough. Like I never had to, you know, you got some some people. I'm a, get a job. The thing is to get a job, get what's the name, be able to move out the hood. I'm gonna get me a nice home. Now I'm out in Troy. I'm out.
Right.
I'm somewhere. I'm away from the
Yeah.
chaos. You know what I'm saying? Being in the middle of that. Like I never had that. Like I always wanted great things, but I never saw myself leaving to get it or leaving once I got it. And when I say
Mm.
about the ceiling, one because I try to use that, not to use that word, but like manifestation is real, and I've manifested a lot of great things, and I wake up and I'm thankful for everything.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that comes, good and bad, man. I don't got no gripes or none of that. But I be in an environment and I see so much more. Like I might look across the street. We might both be looking across the street and it's a vacant lot. But I see um prefab homes. I see steel bills on there,
Right.
where you just might see the field throw some trash over there,
Yeah.
The
Mm.
the
Go ahead.
man.
Take your time, brother. You know what I'm saying? Take your time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
just
definitely go ahead.
me personally, I've
Mm.
I've manifested everything I wanted, bro.
Yeah.
Everything I wanted, and I learned something from you in the process of trying to hold on to something. Can't hold on to something too tight because just like you don't let nothing, can't nothing get out, can't nothing get in either. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, man, I learned something, man. It's just these is mantras, but these are small things that it took me from uh being person immersed in a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil, a lot of drama. You know, like I found a lot over the years. You know, we converse, we stay in
Yeah,
contact
fact,
with even
facts.
when things ain't going how we may think they should go. You
Right.
already know. We always grateful for what they are and where we
Yeah,
came from. Far as with the kids, uh, the blessings we had in that arena with our kids.
yeah,
It's just everything. Everything I wanted, whether good or bad, man. I'm a total sum of my life experiences. So
I
where I'm
totally
at,
agree.
yeah, you
I
know.
totally agree with you. And a matter of fact, I just want to say, personally, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? Because I've seen the transition. But a lot of times when you was learning from me, I was actually learning too. You know what I mean? I was learning too, and I just didn't realize just how much information I had really consumed. You know what I'm saying? And not only just consumed it, I wasn't just reading it to be a parakeet. I started applying it because see, once you
Hmm.
manifest something in your mind, like say for instance, I'm going to tell you an example. Here's an example of manifestation. Now, take the lotto for instance. Okay, the state lotto for whatever state you in or wherever you at. Okay, take that for instance. Now, it may be worth 1.4 billion, right? Now that's a lot of money. So a person will sit and first of all, if you can't see yourself with something, chances are you're not gonna get it. So ain't no need of even tripping. You're not because you can't even see yourself with it. So if you say, man, I sure want to hit that number, I sure want to hit that lotto. Okay, that's cool. You may sure want to hit that lotto. However, you're gonna have another thought that's gonna manifest behind that, and then it's gonna tell you. The next thought gonna tell you, man, if I do hit, think about what life would be like. Now, just within that second, now you finna start saying, well, everybody gonna be coming around begging. I'm gonna have to get such and such something. I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do that. And now when I give this person that, and then the next person gonna be talking about they want that, then you're gonna get relatives that you didn't even know was on your family tree. Just everything gonna get to coming, and it's more than what you want. So you didn't actually manifested more reasons for you not to hit the lotto than you have for you to hit the lotto. So why
Hmm.
even play? Because you really don't want to hit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
well,
saying?
yeah, that go back to thick face black heart. Remember the parable in there when the old man was at the city gate with the two children and all the tourists they was coming back and forth, and the old man was well versed in the wall city. They was outside and they was
Mm-hmm.
had the one tourist walk come up and say, "Hey, how is it in there?" And remember, he was like, "How is it where you from?" You gonna remember, like, "How is it where you from?" And he like, "Yeah, where I'm from, man, it's miserable. Everybody backstabbing and this, they stealing, cheating, woo woo, this that." And he say, "Hey, yeah, it's about like that in there." He like, "Yeah, I'm glad you told me that. I ain't gonna even bother with that." Walked off. He was Remember the old man was sitting with the two kids, and the other guy walked up and asked him, "Hey, how's it?" And he said, "How's it? Where you from?" He said, "Man, it's nice. Everybody get along. This, that." He said, "Well, yeah, it's about like that in there too." And then when he walked off, remember the kids asked the old man, say, "Why you tell them two guys two totally different things?" And he broke it down to him, say, they gonna find what they looking for inside there. If you go in there and you look for the bad, you're gonna find the bad. You go and look for the good, you gonna find the good. And that's what we had to do in life. Like, man, I was looking for the bad, boy, and I found it at every turn. But when I
Yeah.
started looking for the good, man, when I started looking for the good, Man, I can find it. I can
Growing up.
wake up. I can find. Man, I can sidestep the bad. Now I'm talking about. I used to step in it like I stepped in some manure. Like every man. Now it's like Once I
Yeah,
learned what to look, if every you got life is duality. You got good and bad with everything, but it's what the cup, the same scenario, the cup being half empty or the cup being half full. How do you see it?
right,
And I start looking at that's why I don't have a lot of gripes about things. That's why things can not go as we want them to go, but I'll be glad that they went. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I'm
Yeah,
appreciative of the whole, that's
yeah,
the important manifestation and succession. So if I think good thoughts, man, I start thinking them good thoughts from here, then I create this, then I create that, putting myself in a position, life is elevating. But hell, if I get out that hella situation and oh man, they over here, they won't give me this. I can't do this over there, but I'm entertaining all these negative thoughts, all these you know, these these things that's really gonna start a succession of setbacks, you
right.
know?
Yeah.
So what you said,
How
man, like just to start looking at things from, from another
different
standpoint.
perspective. Yeah. And that's why it's so important to watch what we say. To watch what we say. Let's just like back in the day when I was young, I would be lying, talking about, I might when I was young, I might tell my girlfriend, yeah, I went to jail, that's why I ain't making home last night. And lo and behold, you understand me? Listen, time after time, I'm getting pulled over. I done went to jail. You right behind it. So I started seeing. I said, "Hold on, man." I started seeing it. So I got. Now this is so. Now I was in my early 20s, and this is when I was like, "Okay, something ain't wrong." I keep saying this, but it keep happening too. I say so. What I started doing, I started blaming on somebody else. Yeah, I had such and such went to jail. I had to go get him out. You know what I'm saying? I stopped using me. So
Yeah.
you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? But in it's times when I done said stuff like you make a comment, you think you saying something slick at that time, and you might say, "Oh, I ain't doing this, and if I do, you understand me, it's gonna be on this level." Well, yeah, I said that, and when I did that, and guess what? I went straight to that level where I said I was going. So I said, I found myself. I said, man, I wish I was double jointed so I can kick myself in the butt. You know what I mean? Because I need to kick myself in the behind for even blowing this stuff out my mouth. So now, you know, um, that I see that what you say, the power of manifestation. Whoever came up with the phrase, and I know it's very cliche, and I've heard it, and I'm sure anybody that's watching this and heard it. It's a Bible. I think it's a Bible term too. You have not because you ask not. You know, everything that I've asked for, I've received. You know, it might have been in time, but it came. And it came in ways I didn't expect for it to come, ways I didn't even see it, but it came. So I have to, instead of speaking death to people, I like to speak life. You know what I'm saying? I like to breathe life. Cause like I told you earlier today, and I always say it on this podcast, I ain't got to tell nobody how to die. We checking out of here. You can't get past it. Now, I ain't even got to tell you how to die because we gonna die. Only thing I can do is try to tell you how to live. You know what I'm saying? Tell you the best way, or tell you from my life experiences, or from some of my guests, life experiences, because I don't know it all and I haven't experienced it all. But I've been through some things and I've came through some things. And when you
Mhm.
come through it, you oftentimes come through it with a valuable lesson, in your intact. You have a valuable lesson, and you hold on to your lessons, and you carry them with you. And then in this case, I like to share my lessons. You know what I mean? I like to share them, and I like to hear other people's lessons because I can learn from theirs just as well as they can learn from mine. And speaking positivity into people's life. We've been taught to easily talk bad about somebody or say something, backbiting, saying something negative, sending negative energy towards people instead of sending positive energy and accepting the person and saying, man, this gonna be better. Cause you don't know what a person going through. Like I
Mhm.
try to tell, I tell people I done ride with, or I'll be on the phone when I hear them having road rage. And I say, okay. I say, now, you shouldn't be cussing somebody out you don't know. He could be on his way to go do something terrible. And you shouldn't have been, you didn't get in the way and you want to talk and do this, and you ain't ready for what he finna give you. You know what I'm saying? But you spoke that when all you had to do is just be quiet, say, hope this individual have a blessed day. I hope things work out for him or whatever. They find their way. Whatever. You know what I mean? And keep it moving. Keep moving along your journey. Cause we all have a journey to go on. And along the way, we're gonna pick up some jewels along the way. We're gonna pick up some treasures. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's just a matter of us picking them up and utilizing them and sharing them as
yeah.
well.
Like with me, man, I'd have had dozens. I had 2 or 3 dozen car accidents, like in the worst way, just moving fast, being on a lot of mischievous stuff. But now I be moving like I move at a snail's pace, man. I learned to value the metaphor or the turtle, and like I get it a lot from I might be with my kid's mother, or they be like, you driving, man. I'm driving the way I'm driving because of what I've seen. I've spent these corners. I ran that stop sign. I towed some stuff up here, different stuff, man. And for real, since I slowed down, man,
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like I can avoid a lot of the mishaps.
Pitfalls, right?
You know,
Pitfalls.
yeah, pitfalls, and I get to see things like I'm talking about driving, but just in life, period, just to slow down. I get to see, uh, you know, I I get to see these things progress and transpire, so I can kind of take myself out. I can tell a young dude or one of my partners, hey man, that ain't
That ain't it.
um, you know, but
Like when I came and I seen you, you had your two well, multiple businesses, but
mhm,
the two that I patronized a lot was your clothing stores. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And the way you set up right within your community, everything you saying is facts. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you set up right within your community, and you said when you was younger, you could see yourself doing for your community, but staying in your community.
mhm,
And you look at now, you look at your age now, and you still within your community. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Still having hope, still believing.
yeah.
And
But I'm like the ideology. Uh, I I try to pass on the ideology of of uh being more productive, having more, being more sufficient,
mm, mm,
in our needs and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you, like, cause back in COVID, man, I don't know about nobody else, but like when they was talking about the essentials and like we didn't have none of that, you know,
yeah,
as a people, as a community, so we had to depend on, and that right there, but like that's it heavy on me, man.
yeah,
That's it heavy on me when I go through my neighborhoods and the schools we went to. We don't own none of the business that we patronize. We fight for what's left over. So I always wanted to bring the
economic
ideology.
opportunity.
Because I know, like, just like back when COVID was going on, man. You see how friendly the world was.
Yeah,
Even some of the roughest, toughest spots, man.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
everybody was having so much fun. Nobody, the malice was was so low.
yeah.
So imagine creating a economy and creating an environment where we self sufficient. Like a lot of what we fighting over is sneaking out the back door, sneaking out every. You know what I'm saying? it's sneaking out the community. It's being snuck out the community. Like, and
at,
then
at, hey,
we looking at
at a
each other
rapid
with,
rate.
so so far as like I want to stay on subject too, because the topic of manifestation and different stuff like that, and like it's hard. Like I can show my child, say, hey, I grew up right here. My child looking like, what's right there? That ain't number fields, abandoned buildings, this, that, you don't have, we don't have no, like the
Right.
legacy, to lead that. Like I tell people
And that
just
ain't that
about
ain't
me. Say it again. You said that ain't
no,
just what?
I was just saying that's not just exclusive in that's not just in Detroit.
No,
You know
no,
what I mean? When we look at
it's no, no.
we zero
This is
ownership
some,
of anything.
yeah, and like we got to see ourselves having more. We got to see ourselves
Hmm.
more control of the situation. And just for me being a young dude, man, uh, feeling like I ain't got no control of nothing. What's the name? The older I get, I realize my thinking. I create my environment.
Right.
I created my environment
Mm.
with the gangster rap music, boo boo, the guns shooting, hanging with my
So
homeboy. I created that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. All
I
from a
had people that would follow
manifestation
me.
from a thought.
Yeah. And I had people that would follow me to the end of the, you know,
End
that
of the earth.
thought that we
Yeah.
had, they would, you know, stand on. So these new thoughts of growth, being able to you know, help each other, pull each other up by the bootstraps, like that's my man, that's my
That's your mission.
yeah, but it's a hard one, bro. Like when I was talking about like I feel like uh manifesting my purpose, like I kind of put a ceiling on it. And I say that because I used to always be like, man, I don't need no mentions. I don't need no paradise, no palm trees over here. Shit, I don't have to live on 30 Mile or live out in the suburbs to have something nice. Shit, when I go out and with my neighbors, bro, sometimes like it's almost like uh trying to fill up a cup with a hole in it or something. But the little small things count. Like I might go out and do some work on in my community, my block or whatever. If I cut the grass
Hmm.
next, I don't act like I don't see next right here. Or if I pick up some trash or something, I don't act oblivion to it. Like I can't act like I don't see this. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm
What you saw when you
yeah, I'm trying I try to reflect the image that that I want
yeah.
that I want to be
Detroit,
around.
and
So my
proud of like being message. Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
See my
you actually
like with my neighbors,
create your environment. You know what I mean?
yeah, like before the what's the name hit, I went out there and cleaned the gutters because a lot of people don't know uh to it's easy to acquire things. To maintain is something that's not really talked about. So I had to clean the gutters out. That's
Mm.
something that should
Oh,
be done. What you was gonna
years
say?
annually.
Annually
I
or
was just
maybe
gonna
twice.
say,
But
you
when I
right.
did it, I didn't just do it for me. I wind up doing like two neighbors this way. Two, I did about 8 people on the block. But the more as I did it and was starting to talk to him, here go another neighbor. I knew who was gonna come out. Like, hey, well, can you think you can, yeah, that need to, and just giving them a point. But when you ride up the block, it make unison. It look like we care about, you know. It look like we care
Yeah, you
about what
care
we
about
got
your.
right here.
That's one of my
It's community. Like
the
we went
the
from
feel the
neighborhoods
feeling
to
of
hoods,
community.
man. I don't like you was talking about the nickname. My name is Charles Cook, you know, and
Yeah,
all that. I'm the
Larry Lott,
hood. I'm from
not
here.
double
No,
L,
man.
not LL.
Yeah, you know, like man, you gotta stand on business, like what they say, you know,
Yeah, facts,
and be
facts.
what.
Be the message you bring. Be
Yeah,
you can create
yeah,
that what you want. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And what you really want. In this world should show through your actions. You should be able to look at you just like for instance when it comes to and I don't delve in this subject too often and I'm not gonna go deep in it tonight. But the subject of religion. You know what I'm saying? It's a sticky situation, but it's a beautiful thing to have. Now, I'm gonna say this. Um, I should never have to ask nobody, what is your religion? What you believe in? I should be able to look at your actions and be like, okay, that's one of
Mhm.
Jesus' men. Oh, that's one of Muhammad's men. Oh, that's one of Buddha. He followed Buddha. Got to. Look at how he carrying himself. You know what I'm saying? But if we look at our actions and we be truthful and honest, we really wouldn't want, we'd get offended when somebody say we represent some other than something that's holy when we're not. You know what I mean? And and now that and when you speak on the subject of your neighborhood, your community, you say we went from neighborhoods to hoods, and that's a deep that's deep, man. Because a lot of times if we are thinking about these type of things, we don't discuss them. You know what I mean? We let
But
other people talk about our issues with us.
and
You know.
you know me, you've been around me a lot. Like I have a lot that want to come out, boy. That I've been sitting back like listening. I got two eyes, two ears, one mouth. So I've been computing double time on that, and keep it,
Yeah,
you know, not really speaking on a lot of a lot of stuff, but I'm always mindful. I'm always paying attention, you know.
facts.
And I just feel like, bro, basically what you were saying is we got to be what we aspire to be. I come from a when we talk about like I help perpetuate the hood. What's the name? I
Took the
help.
neighbor off the hood,
Yeah, I helped tear my neighborhoods, boy. I
terrorizing
go through them. I
community.
helped tear them up. I didn't know that me into it with my homeboy down the street and we tearing this house up and that house. I didn't know it was affecting my grandma's house and my mama's house, my aunt, like we kind of like be uh shooting ourselves in the foot,
For
in
sure.
so many
For
words,
sure.
like to know that and to now to be on a growth to build, like
Yeah.
man, I come from when you young, like man, we more so, we quick to tear down, destruction
I
seems
mean,
like,
I believe like it's been a agenda that taught us to destroy, destroy,
yeah, I
destroy,
was taught,
destroy. But
man, I beef with my neighborhood through music, through through
yeah,
that's why that's why I'm so hard for like, man, I got some songs that I know they probably been chanting for years. I go around people and people know my word. They know music that I made 25, 30 years ago, word for word.
yeah,
And it'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can't, and they could, I cringe. I can listen to some of my music and I cringe, bro. Like, no, I don't want that for, you know what I'm saying?
For
Like,
you,
for
me, and
real, bro.
nobody else. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
like, but guess
But look
what?
at the growth. Listen to the growth though. See, it's one thing to go from one phase to to another or to mature. You know what I mean? But it's another thing to be able to call yourself out on your own garbage that you know you be on
Let,
or
let me
been
tell you
on.
something. my daughter Carmen, bro, and she 27. Boy, I'm
Yeah.
talking about speaking with her, man, so much. Like we talk, and
Mm.
had I pushed the envelope with the music thing, I know I could be a staple and a lot,
Yeah. Yeah.
I fell back from a lot of stuff. But guess what? We talk, and even my daughter, she like said, Dad, I'm glad you ain't, because all that was entailed, all that came with that. It ain't
Yeah.
that I went
Yeah.
the wrong way. I just took the long way,
Long
you
way.
know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that long way, boy, I took the scenic route. I got to see a lot. I got to, you know what I'm saying? I got, you know, and just to hear my daughter tell me, like, because, you know, to be around and your kids say, shit, Dad, you getting shot so much. I thought somebody was going to come back and try to kill me because they couldn't seem like they couldn't kill you, growing up.
Yeah.
Look, you
Right.
know, being, you being, when I say, man, uh, I was a plum fool.
Yeah.
was a fool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And ran
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
it. Boy, I ran towards the trouble. I ran towards the motherfucker. Boy, I ran towards that man. Man, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
And
know,
I know what you speaking is actual facts. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's a
But I
beautiful
come
thing
from
just
a
to see
long
that.
way, man. I wish I can, if I, the blessing, the blessing that came from uh the good affirmations part of
Uh-huh.
what we talking about, bro. Like
Uh,
when I realize uh when I know better, I do better. Watch what I say. That's another reason because my mouth and my mind, boy. It, you know, I had to, realize everything. You told me that, bro. Uh, I had some. I was writing hate mail from the joint because I ain't have control of nothing no more. You know, writing.
right.
I was writing my feelings in the moment,
Yeah.
writing them in the moment. And you like, hey man, I ain't telling you don't write it. I ain't telling you don't seal it up. I ain't telling you don't send it. But write it to get it off your chest. Hold on to it. Read it 2, 3 times. In a day or two, if you still feel the same, boy, I can go in here and dig out some letters that I wrote, boy. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes,
guess
sir.
what? Had I them temporary moments of
App- yeah,
you
moments
know,
of yeah.
had I what's the name that could have changed the relationships that I had with my kids, with my family, different stuff for. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
one thing I had to realize, I had to take accountability. You pointing the finger, it's three pointed back at you. So once I started taking accountability, I mad, oh, these people did that. They weren't supposed to do it. Man, I put some people in some positions that, boy, I put them in, and I was expecting for them to go by these rules and these standards, and like,
And
man,
do
but I
your
put
work.
them in some situation with some people they don't know nothing about. Some big white men at the
Right.
door talking, and they know everything you done did, and woo woo, and you talking about protecting this nigga. He hide him in the. Listen, man, I'm just on, like,
No,
but
I'm with you. I'm not laughing at you
you know,
because it's
because
the
I got
reality,
my
man.
first
This
album,
is real.
the album, The Real. What I'm angry on
Yeah.
that album. I feel like a lot of people and the people who I speak on that album, I love them to this day. I had to realize them people mean more to me than a lot of the material things. But guess what? To this day, them people say, "Hey, yeah, boy, you told the story. You ain't do no lie. I just told it from my standpoint."
Your perspective.
But it was,
Right.
but I
Check it
put a
out. It's
lot of
still out there. It's on
expectation
Spotify.
on people.
Hold up. Hold up. Is that album still on it's on all platforms, right?
Mhm.
Spotify and all that.
Yeah.
It's real,
Mhm.
REAL. And that's
Yep.
realizing everybody ain't
Realizing
loyal.
everybody ain't loyal. Yeah. Part
Okay.
one and part two,
Real.
but
Yeah.
part one
Check
is,
it out.
you know,
Part one
yeah,
and
yeah.
part two, right?
It's a
Part
part one and part two, but them is like them songs come from a real place. Like they come
yeah.
from real emotion, real,
Yeah, I
but
was banging it.
they
I
was
mean,
life
I
lessons.
felt you.
They
Yeah,
was like,
yeah. And
I mean,
you got a beautiful mind and very talented. I mean, you can,
man,
you know, people, anybody listening needs out. It's some,
we
some of
done
this
been in
work
the
with
joints, and I had the whole prison rocking. Everybody feeling it because uh just like the preacher man, what he do? He's
yeah.
speaking in general. We
What's the
all
man
going through.
name? John
We can act
Forte.
like we all
John
different
Forte.
people and
Remember,
we different, but
from the
we all
Fugees?
going through
Hold up.
the. Say it again.
Same thing. I was saying when
Yeah,
John
like I.
Forte from the Fugees used to come, hey man, he
Oh,
wouldn't
we
even
used to
go in the
rock out.
music room unless you was in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
straight
rocking
up.
out, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
facts,
man.
facts. Yeah, facts. You know, and like I say,
And we
this how I judge talent. If you can, if hold up, if you can take 1,000 men, or just say 900 out of 1,000 or 800, how many of, if you can take that many people and they really telling you what you saying in such an environment, then you really got something.
mm-hmm.
Cause everybody looking to shoot
Mm-hmm.
holes in anything you put out there, but can't nobody find it. They can't do nothing but except it, read it and weep. Like this brother, he don't need to be in here. This brother need to be out there, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
like you say, the power of manifestation in the tongue, you know. Because I got a couple of your favorite, a couple of your joints that was my favorites. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
I missed E40. You know what I'm saying? That was my man.
Yeah.
That's who I rocked with. And then he was a steeple to you. I mean, you checked
Yeah,
for him too.
in a minute,
You know what I
you
mean?
know,
And you
we
kind of
pay homage. We pay homage. This,
yeah,
man,
flat out.
we pay homage like
Yeah.
a mug, bro. Yeah.
I told you I got a chance to meet him, right?
Uh, when?
Did I tell you that? I got a chance to meet him.
Hmm.
E40.
Yeah, when was
Oh,
this?
this is probably maybe about 2 years ago. We had a wine
Hmm.
signing contest. Wine signing joint. He signed the bottles of
Uh-huh.
wine, me and wifey. You know what I'm saying? And tickets we had, you know. But yeah, I got a chance to
Mhm.
meet him, kick it with for a hot second, you know, quick second. But
Yeah,
you
but
know,
see,
and that was just
like the
because
important of
we felt we had so
manifestation.
much in common. Yeah, yeah,
And
that's what I'm telling you. That
like I
manifestation.
listened to gangster
People
rap
quit playing
growing up, but
with it.
I heavily listened to E40, bro. And guess what? I'd have found money in the music, listening to it. That's what made me like the things I was learning in when we was in that situation. The things I was learning, I was putting into the music.
Yeah,
So when I come back out here in West Nile, I'll be like, oh, I supposed to get my Dunn and Bradstreet number. Oh, I'll be rapping it. I done taught myself it in what's name, but I put it in the music. So when I do these music, I say, oh, I supposed to go here and do the LLC. Oh, I supposed to file for my lyric. I was planting bread, you know, but I get that from person like
yeah.
40. Like I grew up listening, and I can say he ain't never led me down no dark alley, bro, you know, and left me, you know.
No,
I done been
no,
in life
no.
situations for the first time and was able to conduct myself out of it from listening and being, you know,
The lyrics
the
you
right
heard from
thing,
him.
you know.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
And I didn't
the
grew,
brother
I didn't expound,
definitely a
man. I
good
didn't
brother.
open up
You know what I mean?
numerous businesses. I didn't property, I didn't, you know, and all these is things. I heard somebody that I liked it that came across you know, familiar with with my surroundings, my ideology, my upbringing, and they was spitting game, but they was giving information that was valuable, you
Hey,
know.
this man, exactly, exactly, and that's the difference between the music today and the music back, you know, back. Now, you know, this man say, all right, now, how humble can you be when you say, when you use some lyrics that you say, I remember we used to use sheets for curtains, socks for wash towels. I was
That's the
happy as hell when my
watchtower.
cousin gave me his hand me down.
Cousin gave me his hand me downs.
You know what I'm saying?
This ain't no fairy
You know,
tale.
and that was, man. You know, I'm feeling
Realistic
that.
rap.
I'm like, you
Yeah,
know, because I grew up,
yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, being able to chop it up with you, bro, be able to witness the growth. You know, and you know, one thing I really appreciate is the way that you handled yourself, you know, through life, the way you've overcome your obstacles. You know what I mean? And I've seen it, bro. And it's always been love. I mean, you know, it's never been nothing fake. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. It's always been 100. If this, it's
Hmm.
all in the solid. You know what I'm saying? All the way through.
We ain't we
You know
ain't
what I
ha- we
mean?
ain't had no lot of we haven't had a lot of celebratory moments, but we have had a lot of
Right.
serious, insightful moments. And I walk away from
Yeah.
from them encounters. You know, they didn't help get me through to the like,
Yeah.
and that's just the type of
And you trip
person.
me out because it'd be like you tell me stuff that I told you
Yeah.
that I didn't forget. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
remember once you bring it to my attention, but
Uh-huh.
I'm like, man, hold up, that was profound. You remember
Mhm.
when
And
we was
I
coming out there? I
remember it
said, yeah,
because
man,
I'm talking about this shit helped me in life, boy. Not just
yes, sir.
it ain't, it wasn't just chop. Man, I hit the ground running, and these things, some of this information opened up a lot of doors for me, man, to change
Yes,
my
sir.
way of thinking. They shaped the way I viewed the environment, the way I conducted myself. Like, man,
Mm,
I could step foot out my house, man. I ain't worried. I ain't tripping about nothing. My name is good. I remember before, boy, I used to, as a teenager, young boy, my name used to beat me through the door, boy. I'm talking about your name make it through the door before you do. That's what something you got to know. And
flat
I
out.
done been around. I done been with some homeboys and they parents. Hey, get away from that boy. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They like that's who that's get. I'm talking about your name ain't no. Man.
They
Like,
said, hey,
but
they, they said
now,
he
why?
want to say the best junior helpers.
Yeah, hey, but now, man,
Yeah,
my name
yeah.
ring, I it
Good
gets there
bills.
before me, man.
Same
Yeah,
here.
and and it uh the it more opportunities, more door. You attract more bees with honey than you do vinegar, man.
Right.
You know,
Facts. 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 Well,
yeah.
like I was saying, brother, I appreciate you coming through, man. Let everybody know where you could be found at. You know what I mean? And if they want to tap into the music, or you know what I mean, because you still got music out there, and I
Oh
would
yeah, and I
suggest,
got some new man. I got that project with my partner Grasher Boss Rhythm and Game. When I say
Grassy
it's
Boy.
a blend of both styles, I got Payroll on there. I got Mac
Okay.
Nichols from the Lodge Boys
Okay.
on there. Stretch Money. Uh,
Okay.
I'm talking about, but it's good. Like, man,
Good
it's
music.
it's rhythm and game. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's rhythm and
Rhythm and
game.
game.
Yeah. I'm talking about
Yeah.
you could put it
Yeah.
on and man, you could put it on in ballroom to it. You can ride to it. It got that mob music feel. Some instances.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But
Well, I know.
yeah,
Hey, listen, I ain't no doubt in my mind, and it's definitely gonna
chase the
be joining
bank,
my playlist.
chase the bank, chase the bank, chase DA bank, chase the bank. Look me up on all
So that's
platforms as far as with the with the
CHASE.
with the music. Huh?
Yeah.
Say it again.
CHASE
DA.
DABANK.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
Abbreviated.
Yeah.
Chase the bank. Yeah.
Follow and
But man,
subscribe, and
yeah.
and we
Oh,
on
oh, oh.
out of the mud. We on out of the mud media, LLC. Follow and
Hmm.
subscribe out of the mud as well. And
Yep.
like I was saying, I appreciate having you, brother. You know what I mean. I want to send a special shout out to George Grundy II and the greatest Mayfield, brother James Mayfield. You know, and like I say, I appreciate you. Brother Charles Cook. For coming through. You know what I mean, and blessings. We definitely got to get you back, man. I want to get you back, man. I want you to tell your story. You know what I mean. Give a
Yeah.
little more.
And I want to, man. Like, this was initial. We chopped it up, like you said. You wanted to keep with the momentum. Giving the viewers what you say you're gonna give them. But
Yeah,
uh, I think next time we come, man, we'll come. We'll set a pretense for you know you know where we coming from with this information. And I think the story, like, conversations. I like our conversations when they not like, this ain't scripted, but man, if you just call me out man, we have some top
oh,
tier
we go in
conversations, just and that's
top
how
tier.
I'm this right here, this cut the camera on, and that's another issue with me, man. I'm working on cribs, I'm running businesses, I'm doing the box truck, I'm in music studio, board photography, I'm everywhere. But the last thing I'll be thinking about doing is cutting on the camera, man.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
and
Well, I'm glad to
and
see
that's
you in
the
front of the
real
camera.
essence. So next time we chop it up, I'm gonna have something where we can show the people, like, what I be doing, because
Yeah,
nowadays everybody seem to have a voice, but it's some voices that are beneficial, and I think do the world some justice to be heard. Like
yeah.
when you coming from,
Facts.
when you coming from one place, and you got a testimony of traveling, you know, overcoming and coming from up,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
on the
Coming
next one,
out the
man,
mud.
I appreciate you guys having me, for sure, for sure.
Man, thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been an honor, man, and my pleasure. And I look forward to us doing this again. You know what I mean? And like we say, that's why it's about out of the mud. You know what I'm saying? That's where we coming from, out of the mud. And we trying not
Hmm.
just come and get ourselves out of the mud. We trying to bring as many people out of the mud as we can. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because that's what we need to do as a people. When we can start doing for ourselves, then that's when we'll really be taken serious. If you can't do for yourself, you render yourself like a child. And who takes
Hmm.
children serious? Not to say
Yeah.
they don't care about children, but who takes children serious? Unless that child show you he's serious on his own. He or she shows you they serious on their own. That's when we take them serious.
And
So,
one thing not to, what's the name, but one thing you taught me a long time ago, man, you say you can't fight and bag the same man.
I said what?
You always used to tell me you
Yeah,
can't fight and bag the same man. You can't
fact,
ask for a
fact.
handout over here and then put up
That's
resistance
an
over. You know what I'm
oxymoron.
saying?
You cannot fight
you know,
and beg the same man, flat out.
you know.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
got to be self sufficient,
Sufficient,
man.
self-sustain, and we got to start loving ourselves. I try to
Yeah.
teach love. Love yourself, man, so you can love people that look just like you. You can love people that don't look like you. You can love everybody, and it ain't about that. Don't make you soft. That don't make it. That make you human, man. We one
Hmm.
human family, man, and we have to really, you know what I'm saying, get ourselves together so we can be taken seriously at the table. Because once a wise man once told me, if you not at the table, you on the table. So you know what I mean. So with that
Yeah.
being said,
Yeah.
yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all next week with another episode. It'll be episode 33 of Lessons with Larry. This was episode 32, and I'm signing out. You know what I mean. I'm a little late tonight, but I'm signing out, and I will be back next week. God willing.